Hey guys, meet the September kittens. Hey guys, it's the Green Crayon here, welcome to the September reading vlog. It is September the 8th, I think, but I have been on holiday, so I haven't really been doing that much reading for the past, 3 weeks since I've spoken to you about this, maybe 2, I'm not sure, but yeah. I haven't really had much time because I've been on holiday, but I have finished Traitor to the Throne by Alwyn Hamilton. This is the second book in the Rebel of the Sand series. I enjoyed it. A little bit long for me, I think. I prefer books that are 300, 400 pages long, and this book's nearly 600 pages long. I just prefer shorter books. I always have done. Did have middle book syndrome in some places, but apart from that, it was pretty action-packed. Does that make sense? There was a lot of spaces in it where I was like, this is just setting up for the third book, and it doesn't seem to actually build on anything that I'm going to actually, get a conclusion for in these 600 pages. But a lot did happen. A lot definitely did happen, and it didn't matter that I'd completely forgotten what happened in the first book. I still can't remember what happens in the first book, but it didn't matter. It still sort of came through as a story. It didn't matter. You could honestly pick this up and read it by itself, I think. While I was away, I brought, just because I didn't want to bring that big hefty book with me, Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. I am only 36 pages into this because, as I said, I just didn't have time to read or anything, and all those 36 pages were read on the plane. I'm enjoying this so far. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this. It is not as gripping as Leigh Bardugo is in the Shadowbone series, the Grisha series. So far it's not anyway, because those books grab you right from the start, and I'm interested, but I'm not can't put this down, which is evident about what I'm going to do today. I'm behind on my reading goal again. And I've recently acquired Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children graphic novel. So I'm hoping this isn't going to take me too long to read. So I think I'm going to use this to catch up on my reading goal a little bit. I'm 3 books behind, so if I can read this today, and I'm going to try and maybe finish this by Tuesday next week, and it's currently Friday, then I should be making a little bit of headway. Done almost exactly an hour it has taken me. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was not as good as the actual books. It was a little bit rushed in places. The timing of it was a little bit weird, but I think that might just be the nature of transferring something that's quite a long novel into a graphic novel like this. I don't think you can ever do it 100% without it being a little bit weird. Yeah, not as good as the books, but I enjoyed it. Cool. Just an update about this. I've just gone on Goodreads, and apparently I have already read this. I read it in 2016. I have no memory of reading it whatsoever. I was starting to think some of these things seem a little bit familiar. Yeah, so that's weird, but as a graphic novel it only takes an hour to read, so I kind of understand why I'd forgotten that I'd read that, but I guess this was a reread. I didn't realise that. Hey guys, I couldn't get to sleep last night, so I was reading Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. I'm really out of breath. I've been really out of breath all day, so I apologise for that. I don't know why. It was really, 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 really good. I really enjoyed it. The basic concept is that there's these women, girls, kind of young women, who, because of their line, they all descend from Helen, as in Helen of Troy, Helen of Sparta, are warbringers. So they're sort of cursed to when these Warbringers appear on Earth, or born. When they turn 17, then there will be a big war. And one of these girls shows up on the Mascara. It's really, really mythology based, which I obviously loved. It's a lot of it's based in Sparta as well, which I love the Spartans. If any of you guys know anything about me, you know I love the Spartans. You also know I love Wonder Woman. This was just like the perfect book for me. It was like it sort of had elements of the Odyssey in it, as in like there was a journey. It had a lot of elements of like the epics, really, as in like the sort of structure of it was very sort of epic poetry, which I think Leigh Bardugo did on purpose. The story of Wonder Woman was fantastic. She, as a character, like Diana, was a little bit different from the versions that we've seen before, but still enough her for it to be recognisable, but enough different for it to be sort of interesting and her own. It followed a very classic Wonder Woman style. It was really, really, really good. If you are a fan of mythology, or if you're a fan of Wonder Woman, or superheroes in general, I would really recommend this. While we're on it, I have a box here, which is provisionally the books I'm going to take to uni. So, this is my box. Just filled a box with all the books that, provisionally, the books I'm taking to uni. So I'm going to go through them with you now. This might change though. Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I'm really, really excited to get to this. I've heard really good things about it. Odd and True by Kat Winters. You guys know the story of how I got this book. It is in a previous vlog. Dan Brown, Digital Fortress. Although the Da Vinci Code Although the Da Vinci Code is one of my favourite movies, I've never read a Dan Brown. Lost on Mars by Paul Marks. It's Mars, there's one more letter, so there's that. I don't know what this is. Oh, I can get rid of that. Boy on the Bridge by M.R. Carey, or Carey, one of the two. My mum read this and really enjoyed it, so she bought this for me. Nod, a novel by Adrian Barnes. Just heard a lot about this book. I don't really know that much about what it's about. I assume it's got something to do with sleeping. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, obviously by Rick Riordan. I read this series years and years and years ago, but I kind of read them out of order, and I was kind of young, so I don't really remember it. I didn't really appreciate it, but I'm going to do an archaeology degree, so I figured maybe I should get back into the series just as a bit of fun. Off the Mark by Veronica Roth. Really enjoyed Divergent. I have heard that this is a little bit too YA, so we're going to see how I feel about this. Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. I got this free at one of the BiblioCon events, and I just thought that the blurb sounded interesting, so I'm gonna read this. The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories by Tim Burton. I am reading this because it's going to be Halloween and it looks really cool. It's like literally there's like probably maybe 200 words in the whole thing. It's mainly pictures, but just with it being Halloween, I wanted to bring it and just look at the cool photos and that. The Astonishing Adventures of Fanboy and Goth Girl by Barry Liger. I got this when I thought I would be interested in it. Now I think I'm a little bit too old for it because honestly it's been on my TBR shelf for so long. But I think I'm going to bring it anyway. Just tick it off my TBR list, to be honest. Andrew's Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. Of course, I'm taking some sci-fi with me. It's my favourite. I've got to do it. Every Day and Another Day by David Levithan. Just bringing these so that I can tick them off my TBR. I'm not particularly bothered about reading them, but I've got them and they're on my TBR, so I'm just reading them to tick that box. White Crow by Marcus Sedgwick. My friend Eve bought me this years and years ago because it was her favourite book. At least I think she did. I think that's how I got this. And I've never read it, but it looked pretty spoopy and I thought I would bring it for Halloween. Along with the Halloween theme, I have Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematorium by Caitlin Doughty from Ask a Mortician, which I'm really excited to read this. King's Misery, really excited to read this. I've been saving this for autumn. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm thinking about rereading The Shining. So Am I going to take this and then reread The Shining? Maybe. We'll see. When the Curtain Falls by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I think actually I might take this dust jacket off and take it without the dust jacket just to keep it nice. Or maybe I don't know. Hero at the Fall, which is the last book in the Rebel of the Sand series by stay. The last book in the series, the Rebel of the Sand series by Alvin Hamilton. I've just read the second one. I'm going to read this pretty soon. This next book I'm planning on reading is the two books that I borrowed from Amy from work, who I'm seeing today. Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire, and the second one, which is Diamond, Sticks and Bones. So I'm planning on reading them first, and if I get them finished, which I might because they're not very long, I will be starting this one. So this one's going to live on the top of the box. And these are 3 books that I'm bringing for sentimental reasons. I'm bringing Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and then The Rough Guide to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because I haven't actually read it yet, and I'm bringing it partly for sentimental reasons, because obviously I love The Hitchhiker's Guide, and partly because I might read it. Books that I am bringing with me I think might help my course, that are related to my course, are Archaeology, a very short introduction, and Classical Mythology, a very short introduction, and there's loads of books in these series. I just thought they'd be good to read on the bus and that. So just little introductions. Bringing Homer's The Iliad and Homer's The Odyssey as well. I've looked for my copy of the Aeneid and I can't find it, but if I can find my copy of the Aeneid, I'll be bringing that as well. Roman Britain, A New History by Guy de Boudier, who's from Time Team. It's just a textbook on Roman Britain. Why is this book so heavy? Oh my god, there's too many books. SPQR by Mary Beard. These. Too many books. This is the last one. Archaeology, 5th edition by Colin Renfrew and Paul Bond. So one of my classics teachers also did an archaeology A-level, but the archaeology A-level was abolished, so he had a load of archaeology textbooks that he didn't need anymore, so he just gave me one of them. I don't know if I'm going to need it, but it seemed like a useful thing to do, and it was on the reading list last year. I should show you the books that I'm surrounded by right now. Just not enough room. I'm finishing this vlog a little early because I move to uni tomorrow. So this is about half a week before the end of the month. Today is Saturday and this video will go up on Wednesday. But I figured close enough, right? So I'm going to do my wrap up now. The first book I read this month was Treasure to the Throne by Alvin Hamilton. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to reading the 3rd one in this series and also to wrap up a series, because you guys know I've been trying to finish a series but it hasn't really been going that well. So I'm excited to finally wrap up a series, which might even be the first series that I finished this year. Oops. Oh well. I did enjoy it, but mainly I'm just looking forward to reading the 3rd one because I'm excited for it, but also because I can finally tick off a series this year. And then I read the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children graphic novel, which was really fun. I really liked the photos. The pacing of it was a bit weird, but I think that's what you get when you take like a novel and transfer it into a graphic novel. But apparently I've read this before. This was a surprise reread. And then I read Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. This was by far the best book I've read this month. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I could go on about this for ages. I might make a full video review about it, but if you guys have any specific questions about it or want me to talk about any specific element of it, let me know down in the comments and I will very happily do it. Please read it. It was fantastic. Any of you guys are into mythology or classics or are into Wonder Woman or superheroes, then I would highly recommend. I haven't told you about these yet. I told you I was starting them, but I finished Every Heart Doorway and Diamond, Sticks and Bones. I'll talk about Every Heart Doorway first. This was really good. It felt like there was, it's really short. As you can see, it's maybe 150 pages long, 200 pages long. It felt like there was a lot more story in it, which I really appreciate because I need some books to tick off my Goodreads goal because I'm behind. but also it was a really good story and I still really enjoyed it. There was some parts I didn't particularly care about, like half of the book was setting up and then half of the book the story occurred in, but it still felt like a longer book than it was. And then the second one in this series is Down Among Sticks and Bones. When I first started this, I didn't think I would care that much because I didn't really... It doesn't follow on from this one. It takes some characters from this one and tells you their story, or their world, I guess. That'll make sense if you've read the books. And I didn't think I would care because I felt like I'd learnt so much about it from this book that there was nothing that this book could tell me that would interest me. But I was wrong. I really enjoyed it. It took me a little while to get into it because I said I didn't really care that much. After that, I did really enjoy it. There is a queer relationship in it, which I loved. Yeah, it was just really well done. And then I started reading archaeology, a very short introduction, as I am starting an archaeology degree in a week. So I figured if I ever needed a very short introduction, now was probably the time. I am 30 pages in. It is not very long at all. Apparently this is the month of short books. And so far I am enjoying it. There is a lot that it's telling me that I already knew, but the bits of information that are new to me are very, very insightful and really interesting. Sort of nuggets of, not information, they're more nuggets of philosophy, I think. And yeah, it is very interesting, and it's written in a very, very accessible and sort of light-hearted and fun kind of way. And usually when you get little books like this, they can be quite pretentious and quite really like information heavy, but it's quite chill, it's quite easy. Next one of these, I will be in uni. I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't know if it's gonna be really short, if I'm gonna have time to do much. I might even have to skip a month. I hope I don't have to. I'd like to not, but but that might happen, so I don't know, I guess we'll see. You guys can find out with me. Videos every Wednesday. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. These are a monthly series, so if you like this video, I have all of this year's worth on my channel, and if you stay subscribed, the rest of this year's worth will be coming out, and maybe next year as well. I haven't decided yet. Stay toasty, my friends. That's not my outro. I stole that. Okay, bye.